The Manhattan restaurant was buzzing with noise as Naomi Jones balanced drinks on a tray while jotting down orders with her other hand. At just 25 years old, Naomi had worked at the restaurant for 3 years, saving every penny she could to achieve her dream of opening a bakery. Her quick wit and warm smile had earned her the admiration of regular customers, though the work was grueling. It was a cold Tuesday evening when the door swung open. A tall man entered, wearing a black hoodie and sunglasses, trying to keep a low profile. Naomi barely noticed him until she approached his table. "Hey there, what can I get you?" she asked with her usual friendly smile. The man pulled his hood down slightly, and Naomi froze. It was Dwayne Johnson, the Hollywood superstar. "Just a black coffee, please," he said quietly, clearly hoping not to draw attention. Naomi nodded, her excitement barely contained. She quickly fetched his coffee and whispered as she set it down, "I won't tell anyone, but it's an honor to serve you." Dwayne chuckled softly. "Thanks, I appreciate that." As the evening wore on, the other diners began to notice him. Phones were out, whispers turned into murmurs, and the atmosphere shifted. Before long, the restaurant manager, Philip, stormed over to Naomi. "What did I say about VIP customers? Keep things discreet," he hissed. "I didn't do anything," Naomi defended herself. Philip glared. "Get him out of here before this circus disrupts the whole place." Naomi reluctantly approached Dwayne. "I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson, but management is asking if you could finish your coffee elsewhere." Dwayne's face remained calm. "No problem, thanks for the coffee," he said, standing up and leaving without a fuss. Naomi felt awful as she watched him go. The next day, Naomi was summoned to Philip's office. "Do you know how many reservations we lost because of your little stunt?" he barked. "You're fired!" Tears welled in Naomi's eyes, but she stood her ground. "I didn't do anything wrong, Philip, and you know it." She packed her things, her dream of owning a bakery feeling more out of reach than ever. The following morning, a knock at her door woke her. A man in a suit stood outside. "Miss Naomi Jones? I'm here on behalf of Mr. Dwayne Johnson. He'd like to meet with you." Still groggy, Naomi blinked in disbelief. "Is this a joke?" The man smiled. "Not at all. He asked me to escort you personally." Naomi got dressed quickly and followed him to a sleek black SUV. They drove to a towering building downtown, where she was led to a luxurious office. Dwayne sat casually at a desk, sipping coffee. "Naomi, come on in," he said warmly. "Mr. Johnson, I don't understand," she stammered. "I heard what happened," he began. "You stood up for me, even when it cost you your job. Integrity like that is rare." Naomi shook her head. "I just did what felt right." Dwayne smiled. "And that's why I want to help you." He gestured to a folder on the desk. "I heard about your dream of opening a bakery. Inside that folder is a business proposal to make it happen." Naomi's jaw dropped. "You're serious?" "Dead serious. I've already secured a location. All you have to do is say yes." Tears streamed down her face as she nodded. "Yes. 1,000 times. Yes." Weeks later, Naomi stood outside her brand new bakery, the sign above reading, "Naomi's Sweet Escape," in elegant gold lettering. The grand opening was a roaring success. A line of customers stretched around the block, and true to his word, Dwayne showed up to cut the ribbon and pose for pictures. As Naomi settled into her new life, the bakery quickly became a community favorite. Her cinnamon rolls were the talk of the town, but her happiness was soon disrupted. Late one evening, a black SUV pulled up outside the bakery. The door opened, and Philip, her former manager, stepped out with a smug look on his face. "Well, well," he sneered, stepping inside. "Look who's living the high life now." Naomi froze. "What are you doing here, Philip?" "I'm here to collect what's mine," he said, his voice dripping with mockery. "You wouldn't be here without me. How about we call it even? You give me 50% of your profits, and I won't cause trouble." Naomi's stomach churned. "Get out of my bakery," she said firmly. Philip's expression darkened. Think carefully. I can make life very difficult for you. At that moment, the sound of an engine roared outside. Dwayne Johnson walked in, his towering presence commanding the room. Naomi, everything okay? Philip's smugness faltered. This has nothing to do with you, Johnson. Dwayne stepped closer. It has everything to do with me. Naomi's under my protection. Philip quickly retreated, but the tension lingered. A few days later, the bakery's alarm blared in the middle of the night. Naomi checked the security feed to see masked intruders smashing displays. She immediately called the police, but before they arrived, Dwayne showed up with a private security team. The intruders were caught. Philip's hired goons. The story made headlines, and Philip was arrested. The public rallied around Naomi, turning her bakery into a symbol of resilience. Business boomed, and Naomi felt stronger than ever. But things didn't end there. As her bakery grew in popularity, Naomi received an unexpected call from a local TV station. They wanted to feature her story on a morning talk show. Nervous but excited, Naomi agreed. On the day of the interview, she shared her journey from being fired to owning a successful bakery, emphasizing the importance of kindness and perseverance. After the show aired, Naomi's bakery saw a surge of customers from neighboring towns. She started receiving offers for partnerships and collaborations. One day, a renowned pastry chef visited her bakery and suggested she consider hosting baking workshops. The idea intrigued Naomi, and with Dwayne's encouragement, she decided to give it a try. The workshops became an instant hit, drawing participants of all ages. Naomi loved teaching others, and it reignited her passion for baking. One participant, a young girl named Mia, reminded Naomi of herself. Mia dreamed of becoming a pastry chef but lacked the resources. Naomi took her under her wing, offering free lessons and guidance. Meanwhile, Dwayne remained a supportive presence. He frequently visited the bakery, often bringing his family and friends. During one visit, he mentioned a charity event he was organizing. How would you like to cater desserts for the event? He asked Naomi. Overwhelmed but thrilled, Naomi accepted the challenge. She spent weeks perfecting her recipes, and on the night of the event, her desserts were a massive hit. The exposure brought even more attention to her bakery. However, Naomi's journey wasn't without hurdles. Managing the growing demand took a toll on her. Late nights, endless paperwork, and the pressure to innovate began to weigh her down. Noticing her exhaustion, Dwayne stepped in. You don't have to do this alone, he reminded her. With his help, Naomi hired additional staff and streamlined her operations. As the bakery thrived, Naomi found new ways to give back to the community. She started a Pay It Forward program where customers could prepay for pastries for those in need. The initiative brought the community closer and solidified Naomi's Sweet Escape as more than just a bakery. It became a symbol of hope and generosity. One evening, as Naomi stood outside the bakery, reflecting on how far she had come, Dwayne joined her. You've built something incredible here, he said. Naomi smiled. I couldn't have done it without you. Dwayne shook his head. You had the dream and the drive. I just gave you a little push. Naomi's story continued to inspire those around her. From a small-town waitress to a successful entrepreneur, she proved that resilience and kindness could overcome even the toughest challenges. And as she prepared to close up for the night, she couldn't help but feel grateful for the journey that brought her here.